We are not prepared for this. We are not. But I promise you all, Donald Trump is that DUMB that he will still move forward. He's talking about the losses from Iranian attacks. This is what we've lost so far. First, we're going to look at the Midas Touch Network. This is Ben Meisalis talking about the state of where we are right now in this war, the illegal war that Donald Trump has inflicted on all of us here in the country, the Middle East, which is Republicans' favorite target every time they're in power, every time that we get a Republican president or a Republican majority that rules the country, we end up going to yet again another war in the Middle East. That's where they love to go to war. Every time we turn around, Republicans are taking us to some war in the Middle East. But it's not just here in the country. It's not just the Middle East that needs to deal with this. It's in fact the entire world that has to deal with this. And what's happening right now with this war, let's listen to what Ben Meisalis of the Midas Touch Network has to say in giving us an update.
Let's take a look right now so you can see for yourself the type of damage that's been done to the United States military arsenal. And most of this stuff has been geolocated on surveillance footage. The U.S. has suppressed surveillance footage from Planet Labs and other areas that do the satellite surveillance footage.
And the reason why they're doing that is because they don't want people to know what's going on. And we know what's going on because there's other people that are able to tell us, right? And Ben is going to continue here, but that's what's going on. We've lost way more lives than what they're reporting to us. Okay. And the other thing that I want to stress to you guys is that we are in very deep trouble in this country. Our munitions, our ammunition, and our troops, our military has been spread so thin that we are in big trouble. If China gets involved, it's curtains. I'm telling you that right now. Now, there's going to be some people that will talk about, and you'll hear it, where Russia might get involved. Now this is going to hurt the MAGA men's feeling, everybody. I understand that you guys are very much big-time Russia fans now, right? You're Vladimir Putin's personal rimmers, right? But we don't like Russia here on this channel. Like, you know, we like the Russian people. They're fine. But the Russian government, we don't like. You guys love that, and you want us to be a communist country like them. But we don't like that. But let me tell you something. When it comes to Russia getting involved, I am not at all concerned about Russia getting involved, okay? Now, again, MAGA men, I know that you guys are going to be upset about that because you guys like to, you know, like I said, rim Putin as much as you possibly can. But the reality is, though, is this. Russia is an incredibly weak country, and I have zero at all concern with them joining in on this in this fight. We're talking about a country that takes up almost all of Europe and Asia, and it's still fighting a war against a country as big as what is it, like Pennsylvania? I mean, that's what we're talking about here, okay? And they are still getting their asses handed to them by Ukraine. Ukraine is beating the ever-loving shit out of Russia right now as we speak. Now, I know that, again, this is like MAGA men are like, I'm not listening to this shit. Why is she saying that? You motherfucker. They hate it. They don't like when you say bad things about Russia, you know? That's what they do. They're just like Donald Trump. You know what I mean? That's their best friend. Their favorite government on the planet is Russia. You know, I wish they would just move there. Don't you guys wish that they would just go to Russia where they love so much? But anyway, I'm not concerned about them. Who I am concerned about, though, is China. Right now, China gets involved in this. It's over. We're in deep trouble. And Donald Trump, I promise everybody, listen to the words coming out of my mouth, okay? Because I done told you this when they did the memorandum of understanding the day or the day after I was live, and I said to you guys, just so that you guys understand, none of this is going to happen. Donald Trump will break this agreement, and we will go right back to where we were. And guess what has happened? So you can expect, despite the worldwide warnings of everybody telling Donald Trump, the absolute DUMist president we've ever had, the weakest president we've ever had, and the biggest pussy we've ever seen in office. He's so paper thin, it's not even funny. He's been warned. You better chill the fuck look out, because if everybody else starts to get involved, it's not going to be good. We're not prepared for this. Again, pay attention to that word. We are not prepared for this. We are not. But I promise you all, Donald Trump is that DUMB that he will still move forward. And we're going to be in big trouble in this country. But let's continue with Ben Meiselas and his report.
For private use, that's those overhead, those Google Earth type stuff, but these satellite photos. The U.S. also banned the European Union, or asked the European Union to stop its companies and its assets from utilizing its satellite footage. So a lot of this comes from China and Russia. You still get it from other places. And Iran said, look, here's what we hit, and here's what we can prove that we hit. 47 radar and air defense systems, 44 support and logistics systems, 48 operational infrastructure like those containerized housing and barracks.
Remember, if you're not paying attention and you missed what's going on here,
49 aircraft and aerial assets.
And by the way, another thing that I want to stress to everybody, when it comes to the amount of money that we've spent on this war, you're going to hear some things like $50 billion and somewhere around there. It's literally hundreds of billions of dollars that we spent on this war. When you take into consideration the amount of ammunition that we've sent over there, personnel, and how much we have lost in terms of missiles, planes, and everything else, and fighter jets, we are losing so much money on this goddamn war. It's not even funny. We would have probably, with the amount of money that we've spent, everybody for at least 2 or 3 years would have complete and utter universal health care with the amount that we have spent in this war so far. Okay? But let's continue. I mean, you can't make this up, bro.
Take a look at this list. Radar and defense systems, 7 command and control centers, 3 satellite communication systems, 6 Patriot air defense radars, 3 air and maritime surveillance control radars, 8 detection and early warning radar systems, 7 air and missile defense radars, 3 EPS radar systems, 2 EPS 117 radars, 5 long 117 radars, 5 long range radars, 2 air defense radars, 1 tactical radar complex. Now support and logistics facilities. 6 fighter jet and helicopter maintenance centers, 3 support and logistics centers. These are all U.S. military facilities and equipment. 12 fuel storage tanks, 17 warehouses storing weapons, spare parts, naval equipment, and aircraft components, 6 missile storage depots, operational infrastructure, 6 MQ drone hangars, 1 F-15 fighter preparation hangar, 1 drone hangar containing 8 factory new drones, 2 command centers, 1 aircraft carrier refueling platform, 1 P-8 aircraft hangar, 4 HIMAR missile launchers, 5 fighter aircraft hangars, 4 Patriot air defense complexes, 6 missile launch platforms, 1 fuel pumping station, 2 signal communication centers, 1 intelligence data center, 1 artificial intelligence and data processing facility associated with Amazon, 1 depot for remotely operated unmanned surface vessels, 1 fuel pier, 4 fighter aircraft shelters, 6 aircraft parking and operating ramps. And in terms of aircraft and aerial assets, 11 fighter aircraft and helicopters destroyed or damaged on the ground, 17 reconnaissance and operational drones, including 8 factory new aircraft, 1 F-15 fighter jet, 1 P-8 maritime patrol aircraft, 1 C-17 transport aircraft, 8 aerial refueling aircraft, 4 heavy helicopters, 6 stored missiles.
He's talking about the losses from Iranian attacks. This is what we've lost so far. He said something about this being a drop in the bucket compared to what we spend in Ukraine, because they, like I said, they love Russia. You know what I mean? So they don't want us to help Ukraine at all, right? So that's a waste of money for them, right? They don't know. I can't find the comment, but he's one of the DOMist people on the planet. You could see in his comments, if you guys are looking in my comments now, you'll see what I'm talking about. His name is Eric. He's literally the DOMist person of the day so far. But he says that it's a drop in the bucket compared to what we gave Ukraine. First of all, it's not. We gave $180 billion worth of stuff to Ukraine. You see, Eric, because he's a MAGA DUME, He thinks that we went over there with buckets and bags of cash and gave them to Zelensky and said, "Here you go. Just take the money. Do what you want with it." No, that's not what happened. When they give what's called billions of dollars, what they're doing is they're giving them equipment. It's billions of dollars worth of equipment. Now, we need to do that because what we don't want is our own troops having to fight Russia. It's better for Ukraine to beat the shit out of them, which Eric is apparently very upset about. Like I told you, this is one of their favorite places, and their favorite person on earth is Putin. So anything that has to do with Ukraine helping and making sure that Russia goes down, Eric doesn't like anything about that. You know what I mean? But he thinks that it's pennies compared to a drop in the bucket compared to what we've given Ukraine. So there's a whole bunch of things that need to happen here. Number one, it's equipment that we give them. It's not cash. The equipment is old equipment that we then turn around and manufacture, more jobs created, more money given to people to create new weapons that we're able to then have in this country, because we can do that. Like that's what the bill pays for, right? But they think it's just a bunch of money being given to Ukraine. They're that DUMB. I swear to God, like you might be looking at me going, there's no way that they believe that they do. They do believe that because they're that complete and utter idiotic people. They don't know what's going on in real life. Now, the other thing that you have to remember, too, is we can't let Russia just go around taking over countries, right? If that happens, that makes the United States weaker. We as a nation are supposed to be helping, number two, Ukraine, because we already promised them in the 1980s when they had the second largest stockpile of nuclear weapons, and we made a deal with them saying, you give us all of your weapons and don't ever worry about Russia. If they ever attack you, we are going to be right there to protect you. But now we're going back on that deal. Eric doesn't give a shit about that. If he even knew about it, most likely he didn't. Just like most MAGA DUMs, they have no idea that agreement even is in place. But yet they still are against us helping Ukraine. Why would they be against us helping Ukraine? For one reason and one reason only. Because they're fans of Putin. They're fans of Russia. They want Russia to win the war. You know what I mean? But instead of looking at it as our own security, the best thing for our security of our country and also all of our former allies in Europe that are no longer, they want nothing to do with us because of one guy named Donald Trump. Eric is fine with all of us, the world falling apart, our status being diminished, and Russia winning. He wants all of that to totally be like, yes, please let that all happen. And MAGA dummies like Eric is totally fine with it. And he calls it a drop in the bucket compared to what we gave. Now, on the other side of it, at least with Ukraine, we are protecting the United States, right? If we supply Ukraine to defend themselves against Russia, we are protecting the United States. What the f*** are we doing in this war right now? What is it doing for us? Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. It is literally for no reason. Now, I'm going to tell you another thing because there's going to be the MAGA DUMs like Eric in my comments right now saying, what about their nuclear weapon? Well, exactly. Please explain it to me. What about their nuclear weapon? What nuclear weapon? The entire world knows that Iran was nowhere near making a nuclear weapon at all. Or like Lindsey Graham would say, or any like a lot of these Republicans, nuclear. They say nuclear all the time. It's annoying to me. But no, they weren't close to coming up with a nuclear weapon. There was an agreement already in place. And Donald Trump, the dingbat in chief, he's the one who ruined that agreement and now put us in this war at the request of Benjamin Netanyahu, who is really who Donald Trump is serving. And we're going to hear video later on of him actually talking about how we need to help Israel in every possible way and even give them even more. And if you don't like it, then you're against this country. This is what Donald Trump and the Republican Party are all about. They want nothing to do with helping the American people. And we're here to make sure that it stops. That's why we are ending MAGA. And if most of you guys are just joining me for the first time, hit the like button and subscribe on your way in if you haven't done so already. And goddamn it, on your way out, hit the like button and subscribe as well. Let's continue, though, with Ben Meiselas giving us the lowdown of what's going on and how much we have dwindled.
in the past 2 weeks. All of that in the past 2 weeks. And you can take a look at that, and 85 to 90% you can locate and geo-target and geolocate on the surveillance footage, on the satellite footage that we've been showing you.
I'm gonna point out this comment right here, and then we'll get back to this video in a second. Okay, there goes some of the things that we're going through, and some of the things that we have lost in this country.